They're all between 19 and 30 years old, and they're determined to do things differently. They don't advertise in magazines, and they don't even sell their clothes in boutiques, although they might make an exception if it's a pop-up shop. This crop of young designers has come together to exhibit their creations at the 3rd edition of the Open Mode Festival at Paris's Grande Halle de la Villette.
The idea of the festival is to be able to let the public into the world of fashion in a way that's fun and also free. It's a chance for them to discover young designers. Young designers can be more accessible than older, more established names. And this allows people to really be immersed in the sparkly pop world of youth fashion.
We can give space to designers who aren't primarily concerned with profitability, with how lucrative it all is, or isn't. Instead, what they're doing is more politically and socially engaged. They want to offer alternative solutions so that people can dress themselves differently, maybe consuming fewer new clothes, and using clothes that are more locally sourced. That's what I think is so interesting.
The project also prides itself on bringing together different artistic disciplines. During an opening performance, free to the public, dancers wear pieces created by the exhibiting designers.
This is made from a cycling t-shirt and also from a former corset. I've come up with an entire collection made from recycled corsets.
These recycled and upcycled collections are sold online, mainly via social media.
These days, it's really vital to consume things second-hand. Although, of course, second-hand clothes from the 70s, 80s and 90s are no longer on trend, our work is to make them feel relevant again, to give them a second, even a third life, so that people who like fashion can see themselves wearing it, while also, of course, doing something ecologically and socially responsible, consuming upcycled second-hand clothes.
As for the prices, most items are between 50 and 120 euros. Pricier than a fast fashion fix, but much less than traditional designer pieces. And they're all unique.
At the start, that was a Hummel jacket, and I got hold of some Uzbek fabric that I used on the front, and also on the back of the sleeves. That's how I find inspiration when I'm choosing the cuts and the shapes. There's always a part of the item that's worn or damaged, a part that I want to hide. That's it, sportswear with a kind of ethnic look. I'll take some colorful fabric, and I really like there to be some contrast between the materials, things that shouldn't go well together but that I put together anyway. And the final result is always quite harmonious, I think.
These jackets aren't worn by a professional model, but by a young business owner who's also pursuing a qualification at the BRIEN-HAMDANE School of Applied Arts. Meet 19-year-old Anouk.
This summer, I decided to change my business model because my former approach didn't allow me to pursue responsible fashion exclusively. So this is my first collection as an official designer, my first collection of bags. At start, there were 6 items of workwear, and they've become 17 unique bags. There are bum bags, messenger bags, belt bags, harness bags, a bit of everything really. And it's all quite streetwear with a tech edge.
OLGA PHAM is a graduate of the alternative fashion school Casa 93. She doesn't sell her clothes. Instead, her creations adorn an artist squat in Paris. Her self-confessed plan, to build up a fan base of disciples.
Ugh.
That's heavy.
It is very heavy. It's made of woven fiber optic cables that I found in the street. I pulled them out of the spools, so we're talking about a lot of cable. It was a lot of work, and I've combined it all with inner tubes. And those are gym mats that I found. They come from a school. I cleaned them and got them.
Are ideas of elegance and luxury at all important to you?
I'm a long way from both of them. I'm more about fire, guitar riffs, battles, squats. It's alternative. For me, sensuality is someone getting on with something, just doing it. That's what I found sexy. Someone who's a hybrid of lots of different styles, but also someone who's ready to build something, someone prepared.
To bring movement to her collection, Olga sought the help of a choreographer, a fellow squatter.
I started by getting to grips with the person Olga is, her hunter-gatherer character. We don't just have models who are there to look pretty. No, we have performers who are present. They have these active bodies. They've got their hands in the mud. They do things. So I started creating choreography around those gestures that are actually very everyday movements. The gestures of work, they're active, powerful.
While this festival certainly likes to do things differently, participants are thankfully no less keen to share some festive wishes.
Please may our generation be as mad as the ones that came before us, and may we invent the next rock and roll. May people learn to enjoy the present moment and to share it with others. We need some kindness right now. More solidarity. I'm crossing my fingers.
I hope overlooked minorities get the chance to shine.
I want young designers to be noticed and people to understand where our clothes come from. I would love consumers to feel they can afford the fashion they want.
May there be more initiatives like this one. And that way we'll continue sharing and, of course, wearing the clothes of tomorrow.